Happening now, the COVID-19 outbreak at SUNY Fredonia continues, the latest on the numbers. Plus, a new historical marker honors a local woman suffrage leader.
Well, the sun is back for today, and we're going to keep the cooler temperatures and the sunshine right through the holiday weekend. I've got the details next. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Friday. I'm Justin Gould. 37 new cases of COVID-19 was reported yesterday in Chautauqua County, with more than half connected to an outbreak at SUNY Fredonia. County health officials report 23 of the 37 new cases are students at that university. Now, since the college reopened, 50 students total have tested positive for the virus. There is now a total of 166 cases active in the county, with 479 total. Since the outbreak began, 303 people have recovered from COVID-19 here, with 10 related deaths. 5 people do remain hospitalized with COVID-19 here locally. Now, Chautauqua County leaders are scheduled to hold a COVID-19 press conference update today at 1 o'clock. You can watch that live on WNY News Now's 24-hour streaming network, WNYNewsNow.com/live, our mobile app, and our Facebook page. Well, with the Labor Day weekend approaching, health experts are concerned about another surge in coronavirus cases. Melissa Rainey has the latest.
Together, we need to get through Labor Day weekend really protecting one another.
U.S. health experts on edge as the Labor Day holiday approaches, especially after many states suffered spikes in new cases, hospitalizations, and deaths after the Memorial Day and July 4th holidays.
We don't want to see a repeat of the surges that we have seen following other holiday weekends. We don't want to see a surge under any circumstances. But particularly as we go on the other side of Labor Day and enter into the fall, we want to go into that with a running start in the right direction. We don't want to go into that with another surge that we have to turn around again.
Officials are warning people to stay vigilant, wear masks, social distance, avoid crowds, and keep gatherings outside, not indoors.
Please don't have parties where people do not have masks on. Just because they're a neighbor does not mean they couldn't be positive.
While the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has told state and local public health officials to prepare to distribute a possible COVID-19 vaccine as soon as late October, many health experts say a safe and effective vaccine might not be publicly available until early 2021. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
Melissa, thank you. The CDC is now forecasting that the death toll from COVID-19 will increase between 200,000 to 211,000 by September 26th. A former undersheriff is being remembered as a true public servant and the only person to hold every rank in the history of the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office. Undersheriff Jerome Earningwine, who died this week, served as acting sheriff in 1994 and was undersheriff from 93 to 2002 when he retired. He served in the sheriff's office from 1963 until his retirement. Former Sheriff Joe Gerasi remembers Earningwine as a fantastic human being and a true public servant, while current Sheriff Jim Quattrone says he remembers his wisdom and problem-solving abilities. Both men credited Earningwine for his fairness, compassion, and for being respected throughout not just the agency, but the community as well. A graveside service is set for 1 o'clock tomorrow at Holy Cross Cemetery. A new historical marker honoring a local woman suffrage leader was unveiled in downtown Jamestown this morning. The marker is at the corner of 4th and Pine Streets, and it remembers Edith Ange, who lived at the location in the final years of her life. SUNY JCC history professor Tracy Langworthy says Ange is nationally known for advocating for women's right to vote. Langworthy says most notably she was arrested following a peaceful protest in Washington, D.C. on this date in 1917, where she was committed to a Virginia workhouse.
While there, she endured some pretty miserable conditions, needless to say. We know this because after she was released, she saw a lawyer, smart woman, and she documented what she experienced in a legal affidavit. In it, she described the wormy, rancid food the women were given and the long hours they worked in the sewing room at the workhouse with only 1/2 hour break per day. There were women who fell ill, who were denied medical treatment, and near the end of her 60-day sentence, Edith actually had to be hospitalized herself.
Now, Ange immigrated from England at age 10, living adjacent to her father's accounting firm on East 4th Street. She continued to call Jamestown home into the 1930s. The activist died in 1948, with her passing making national news in the New York Times. Now, the dedication coincides with the 100th anniversary of the adoption of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote here in the United States. Well, we thank you all for joining us here on this Friday as we make our way into a holiday weekend that kind of symbolizes the last big hoorah of summer. Let's check in with the comments and say hello to Richie. Good to see you. Good to see Laura here as well. Great to have Rod and Jonathan here on the broadcast. Good to see Lisa. Happy Friday to you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good to see David, Hector, Kayla, and Dawn as well. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Let us know what you're doing and what you're thinking about here in the comments down below. Well, now let's shift gears and get a check of our first defense weather forecast. And Dakota, everybody's looking forward to this weekend because certainly, hopefully it'll be a nice one to get out and kind of enjoy what a lot of people call the unofficial end of summer.
And we actually are at the unofficial end of summer because we are officially into meteorological fall. This is when all of the weather records for the fall season actually start being kept. So live look over Erie right now from the Mill Creek Mall. Few clouds dotting the sky, 73, but look at that dew point at 47. So the dew point is way down today, something we told you about yesterday as that cold front sweep through. It dropped the temperatures and the humidity. Radar is dry today. It's going to stay dry today and pretty much through the entire holiday weekend. 64 here in town, 65 Mayville, 70, that's 65 in Fredonia. I don't think that's right. It's probably 65, not 75. 67 in Clymer, 66 in Quarry. So temperatures not bad today. They're cooler than where they were yesterday. We managed 74 yesterday, not too far from the averages for this date. 96 was the record high on this day, set all the way back many years ago, whatever that said. Let's go back and take a look at that because I'm curious about that. It was 1953. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I got that right. Partly to mostly sunny through the afternoon today. Cooler, refreshing. It becomes breezy through the afternoon. If you're on the highest hills, likely you'll stay in the upper 60s, around 67, 73 elsewhere with a west wind 11 to 20 miles per hour. Gusts could be around 30. If you like the cooler weather and the sunshine, it stays through the holiday weekend, and we've got some little bit of humidity to go through. We'll talk about it in a few, Jay.
All right, Dakota, thank you. New York State casinos and video lottery terminals have been given the all-clear to reopen at 25% capacity starting next week. Governor Andrew Cuomo says any casino which chooses to open will be subject to strict safety protocols, including enforcement of masks, social distancing, and enhanced cleaning.
No table games or beverage service on the gaming floor, additional staff to monitor the traffic and ensure compliance. State Gaming Commission will be monitoring that.
Well, Cuomo called the reopening a good step forward to getting the state open following the COVID-19 pandemic. August saw an additional 1.4 million jobs added nationwide, but the country is still a long way from regaining the amount lost since the start of COVID-19. The numbers released on Friday show the economy is recovering slowly, but in line with expectations. August jobs were less than 1.7 added in July. Now, America is still down 11.5 million from February before COVID caused much of the nation to shut down. One bright spot here, the unemployment rate dipped below 10% for the first time since March. It was recorded at 8.4 today. Well, coming up next, we tell you about a weekend rally supporting President Donald Trump here locally. And later, we introduce you to Big Mississippi. He's our pet of the week. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I grew up in a single-parent home. We were raised by my mom in a one-bedroom apartment in Queens, and I slept in what was supposed to be a dining room just off the kitchen. We were poor and fell behind in our bills. More than once, our electricity was shut off and there were eviction notices taped to our door. I remember walking into our kitchen and finding my mother standing by the stove, crying to herself because she didn't know what to do and felt helpless. I was about 9 or 10 when our apartment was robbed. I remember arriving home with my mother and brother and finding the door open, feeling confused because the first thing I saw was that our television, a set which forever sat on a stand in the living room, was missing. I know firsthand what it's like to be a victim, to be assaulted, robbed, to have things taken from you which you're never going to get back, and to be scarred by experiences which 30 and 40 years later still haunt me. We're lucky enough to live in Chautauqua County where by and large we feel safe, but unfortunately bad things do happen here. I want to be the district attorney who personally prosecutes the most serious crimes and who's there for victims every step of the way. These are the people I want to represent, to fight for their justice, to fight for our justice in the courtroom, to help people who have suffered at the hands of others. This is why I want to be your district attorney.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back. 2 people are facing charges after allegedly lighting a person on fire at a Cherry Creek address last month. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office says 2 men, one 18 years old, the other 19 years old, are charged with 2nd-degree assault and 3rd-degree unlawful imprisonment. Now, through investigation, deputies allege the 2 tied the victim to a chair inside of a residence before pouring an accelerant on them and setting that person on fire. Now, deputies say the victim sustained substantial burns as a result of the fire. The sheriff's office says both suspects were arraigned at the Chautauqua County Jail, with one of them released, the other held on bail. Investigators did not release the identity of the 2 men charged. They say the victim is recovering. Hope and healing. That's the message Joe Biden brought to Kenosha, Wisconsin, after racial unrest over the police shooting of Jacob Blake. It's a different sentiment than one that President Donald Trump brought to the city this week, but the 2 candidates may ultimately share the same goal. Our Karen Kafa explains.
Joe and Jill Biden in Kenosha, Wisconsin, as the community attempts to heal.
I'm optimistic about the opportunity if we seize it.
Violent protests consumed parts of the city after police shot Jacob Blake in the back.
Had an opportunity to spend some time with Jacob on the phone. He's out of ICU. He talked about how nothing was going to defeat him. How whether he walked again or not, he was not going to give up.
Biden met with the Blake family, something President Trump didn't do during his visit to Kenosha Tuesday. Instead, the president thanked law enforcement.
I want to thank your police and your great people from law enforcement. They've done a fantastic job.
Toward damaged property.
We're going to work with you. We're going to help you. Okay? We'll help you rebuild.
And promised to bring his campaign message to the community.
They want law and order.
The trips from the 2 candidates serve a political purpose. Wisconsin voters could be the key to winning the White House. In 2016, Wisconsin, along with Michigan and Pennsylvania, catapulted Trump to the presidency. Now, the Trump campaign attempting to hold on to at least one of those states, but it could be an uphill battle. A poll of registered Wisconsin voters shows Biden leading Trump 49 to 41%. In Pennsylvania, a new survey shows no clear leader in the critical battleground state, which is why President Trump is in the Keystone State Thursday, and Joe Biden took a trip on Monday.
I've decided to come to Pittsburgh to talk a little bit about what's going on right now.
As the campaigns watch the polls and do the math, the push for swing states will only get more intense as November nears. At the White House, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Karen, thank you. Supporters of President Donald Trump can show their support in a local road cruise around Chautauqua Lake this weekend. The roughly 2-hour event will start at noon on Saturday at the former Kmart parking lot in West Ellicott. Participants are urged to decorate their cars, trucks, motorcycles, and pretty much anything that's street legal with pro-Trump flags, signs, and bumper stickers. The rally route will go west on Route 394 and then back towards Jamestown on Route 430. Previously, a pro-Trump boat rally was held on Chautauqua Lake, which drew over 100 boats and even skydivers. This is all in a run-up to November's election. Well, it's September now, and if you're under the age of 12, that means it's time to start working on your Christmas list. And Walmart has some insight on what could be the top toys for the year. Yesterday, the retail giant released its hottest toys. The Paw Patrol Dino Patroller and Jetson Plasma Hoverboard and a Bop It game with a baby yoga theme are all expected to make the list. The toys are tested and selected by kids themselves. Walmart merchandising experts say that this year's picks show kids are choosing different toys due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Certainly something that's affected all of us, and big 100-year pandemic. I mean, there's really not much more you can say about it except for here we are today, taking it a day at a time for some, for sure. Well, TGIF to you. Thanks so much for joining us here for WNY News Now. Let's check in with the comments and say a little Barb. Good to see you on the show. Good to see Jackie. Dawn, thanks so much for sticking with us. We appreciate the daily viewers that tune in every day at noon. We literally wouldn't do it without you guys. You're truly amazing. And certainly our community partners too, who advertise the program and advertise our news broadcast. We really wouldn't do it without you. Good to see Kelly, Sarah, and Carla as well. Hopefully everyone's having a good one. Let us know what you're doing, what you're thinking about. You gonna have any plans for the Labor Day weekend coming up? Certainly should be a restful for me, Mr. Hunter. That's what I'm going to plan on doing is just chillaxing, having a couple hot dogs, and then after Labor Day, going to get rid of all my white.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have to get rid of the backdrop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is about toys, what was your favorite toy?
Oh, you know what? I think overall, I was a big Lego kid. I really liked building stuff. So I guess I didn't see it on the list there. Maybe kids aren't into that anymore. But really, that was my favorite type of childhood toy. Every Christmas, I had at least some sort of Lego thing. I'd probably want them all, honestly, if I could. What about you?
My favorite toy, it's a toss-up between the Light Bright.
Yep.
Anybody remember those? Us 90s babies will know that very well. And toy vacuum cleaners.
That's
Please don't ask any further.
Well, you know what? Dakota is the best. This is kind of crazy. You're the best vacuumer we've ever had. I mean, seriously. I think you're so meticulous at it. That's what makes it. And it's a good skill to have.
Well, I mean, when you were a vacuum enthusiast as a kid, you understand the right and wrong ways to vacuum.
I'm sure your future spouse will thank you for it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I actually put it on my... Okay, I got on Tinder, even though I said I would never get a Tinder. I said the same thing about Snapface. I would never get a Snapface. But I finally put myself out on Tinder, and my Tinder my Tinder bio is like, I can't cook, but I can make your house look spotless from top to bottom.
Yeah.
That's my pickup line.
You just need a chef or somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
That can take care of you.
Applications, send them to me.
Are open. Find Dakota on Tinder. Why not?
Please.
He's looking for fun.
All right, weather. Let's go to Links 1. Let's just get right off this because I've got myself right into a rabbit hole here. So let's take a look at this. Summer has been relatively, well, warm. We were sizzling, but, well, now we're not. Since the 1st of July, all the way throughout the first week of July, we had 7 days where the high temperature, or 6 days, where the high temperature was at 85 or above. Around here, that's hot for our standards. And ever since the 10th of July, since our last day of 85 or above, we've only had 1 day since then where the high temperature was 85 or above. So more toasty air comes back next week, and that's what happens when you hit the button twice. So let's go back to that graphic. And so we're sizzling. We talked about that. Now let's talk about the toasty air coming in as we go throughout the week. So today, tomorrow, and Saturday or Sunday, both of the weekend days are going to be dry with lots of sunshine and the cooler temperatures. But notice what happens as we go into next week. The heat and some of the humidity will return. Speaking about that Labor Day weekend forecast, here it is. 71 degrees tomorrow, a good supply of sunshine, rather comfortable. 74 on Sunday, and it still remains nice. The humidity down. Now, as we go into Labor Day itself on Monday, we forecasted the adjusted high here. We're now going to around 80 degrees, and there's going to be a little bit more humidity coming as well. But the majority of the day, at least, should be mainly dry. Satellite and radar composite shows you no rain across the area. Just a few clouds moving in across the southern tier in northwestern Pennsylvania. That'll do it for today, and those clouds are really going to kind of not really stay with us through the weekend, but spotty clouds. There's the cold front that moved through last night, and this is our weather for the weekend. That beautiful H spinning around right there, that's the high pressure that's going to be in control all the way through the weekend. So we'll show you future scan just to show you the cloud cover. Again, I think tonight starts clear. Temperatures are going to dip back quite a bit by morning. We're forecasting some spots in the valleys, upper 40s to start tomorrow. How's that for a taste of fall? And then a few clouds overnight. Tomorrow will be dry, lots of sunshine. Now, as we get into Saturday night, going into Sunday, we'll see a influx of a few more clouds, maybe a small chance for a spotty shower, especially later Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. Otherwise, it'll remain dry. 65 as a noon hour right now. Northwest wind to 14, got a wind gust at 17. That northwest wind is the key why it's cooler. It's bringing in that cooler air from Canada, that north to northwest wind flow aloft. So zone forecast, inland areas today. Some of you are going to be stuck down into the upper 60s today, especially the valley locations. The cooler spots, as often is the case, will be held down into the 60s. Everybody else should be around the lower 70s. 7 days down the road we go. 71 tomorrow, 74 on Sunday. Again, we talked about that weekend. Labor Day, dry, 80 degrees. And then as the kids go back to school Tuesday and Wednesday, looking warm and rather humid at this point. And then we bring in a chance for a few showers next Thursday with highs going back down into the lower 70s. We'll take a break. Be right back. Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. In an effort to help animals find their forever home, we're partnering with the Chautauqua County Humane Society in a segment called Pet of the Week. Joining us on the broadcast is Brian Papalea, the Director of Community Relations for the Humane Society. Brian, thanks so much for being here with us today on this Friday. And I see it looks like you're in the cat colony there. Who is our furry friend?
Yeah, we got Big Mississippi here at the cat colony, and we've been sitting here playing for a long time, but I think Big Mississippi's getting tired of me. I'm going to try to close in here. And Big Mississippi's 5 years old, and he is just a lover. We've been sitting in here for a while, He's got the prettiest blue eyes. I'm not sure if the light's allowing that to show. But he's been with us for a little while, since July, early July. And so we're looking for a home for Big Mississippi. And then you see if there's an orange cat walking by there, that's Massachusetts in the background. So yeah, we have plenty of cats. We got some kittens. We got some guys in the senior colony still. So if you're looking for a cat, now's the time.
Yeah, and we actually just took that still photo that you sent us a little bit earlier today, and his eyes are absolutely beautiful. And I think that's the one of the biggest things about the environment that you guys have at the Humane Society is the cat colony is really a colony. I mean, they're living together, working together. For Big Mississippi, what are some of, if someone's out there looking at him and they're kind of interested, what are some of his traits? I mean, I know right now he looks like he's taking a bath and
Yeah. Well, he's definitely he likes to be in charge. I think that's like I was looking and it said that the cat he was living with he wasn't getting along with. But what I've seen in here in the colony with the different cats here is he seems like he kind of is a little bit of the boss, but there hasn't been trouble with that. Like he's at his stature too, he's a good sized cat. So I think that might intimidate cats if they're not used to being around other cats. But otherwise, I mean, he's definitely a lover. I wouldn't quite say a lap cat, but I haven't known him that long. So I bet you could get him to be a lap cat. So really, it just, he likes attention. And if in a situation, he probably would like to be the boss.
Certainly, I know how that feels, that's for sure. And, the beautiful thing with cats is I've always been a cat and a dog person growing up. But cats, you really kind of connect with them. And you can, if you're in the right moment, and you find a cat that really matches with you, it can be a lifelong friendship. Are people still? I know we talked last week, but are people still able to come and if they like a cat or a dog, they can fill out the online application and actually meet them before they sign the dotted line, so to speak?
Yeah, just to be real clear with that, the online adoption application is not something that people are held to. You're not held to that specific animal. If you come here and fall in love with somebody else, barring they already have like a meet on schedule or something like that, that door is open. It's just a formality we need right now, for people to come in and walk around through the building, really.
Yeah, certainly, and they always want to put safety first during the COVID pandemic. Brian, final for you, I want to give you an opportunity. Yesterday, we reported that the Walk for Paws is a go, a little bit different this year. For folks out there who want to get involved and maybe have a virtual team together, what can they do? What's the best route for that?
The best and easiest route is just to give a visit to chqhumane.org, and you can register there. You'll find a couple of different links right there in the homepage. It's a quick registration form, and once you do that, you're rolling. And for anybody that does fundraising, we do have some great prizes, and they can see that on the registration page, the link to see what the prizes are and stuff like that. And we also have our fun. They'll see on the same page. There's some fun stuff leading up. Like this week is share your favorite selfie with your pet photo onto Facebook. There's some action over there. And it's always active in here in the cat colony. It's a fun place to be. But yeah, so you can do that. Next week is pet bingo. So there's all sorts of fun stuff to kind of keep people involved and active with what's going on. Because really, like you guys reported in the news story yesterday, the animals here at the shelter are in such need of people's help, so they can get the care they need and all that.
Yeah, certainly, and that's the thing. It's like with all that's happening, our furry friends are always there, and we can't forget about them for sure. I wish I could be there in the cat colony with you because it's so cool to see the cats interact, and they have their own like group. I mean, it's amazing. So.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a quick because Big Mississippi. There we go. He's coming to a spot here in the colony where the cats get to relax and kind of chill out. And so there he is if people want one more look at him.
Yeah, absolutely. He is
so I encourage anyone
gorgeous.
To, apply and I've turned the volume down here. So
Yeah, he is so gorgeous. Brian, thank you so much for your time today. And again, to learn more about Big Mississippi or other residents of the shelter, simply contact the Chautauqua County Humane Society. You can visit chqhumane.org to see all of their animals. Brian Papalea with the Chautauqua County Humane Society joining us, and Big Mississippi, thank you both. That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll leave you with this live look over downtown Jamestown. Again, we'll be back here at 1 o'clock with a special report covering Chautauqua County's COVID-19 press conference update. In the meantime, news continues on our mobile app and at WNYNewsNow.com. Programming note, we're back Tuesday next week. Hope to see you then.